Hello everyone, welcome to Lesson Overview 2.4 Chemical Reactions and Enzymes. I will be your host today, Ahmed Elawady, on the book Miller and Levine Biology. Think about it. Living things are made up of chemical compounds, but chemistry isn't just what life is made of, chemistry is also what life does. Everything that happens in an organism, its growth, its interaction with the environment, its reproduction, and even its movement is based on chemical reactions. What happens to chemical bonds during chemical reactions? Chemical reactions involve changes in the chemical bonds that join atoms in compounds. A chemical reaction is a process that changes or transforms one set of chemicals into another by changing the chemical bonds that join atoms in compounds. Mass and energy are conserved during chemical transformations, including chemical reactions that occur during living organisms. The elements or compounds that enter into a chemical reaction are known as reactants. The elements or compounds produced by a chemical reaction are known as products. An important chemical reaction in your bloodstream enables carbon dioxide to be removed from the body. As it enters the blood, carbon dioxide, also known as CO2, reacts with water to produce carbonic acid, H2CO3, which is highly soluble. The chemical reaction enables the blood to carry carbon dioxide to the lungs. In the lungs, the reaction is reversed and produces carbon dioxide gas, which you exhale. Energy in reactions. How do energy changes affect whether a chemical reaction will occur? Chemical reactions that release energy often occur on their own, or spontaneously. Chemical reactions that absorb energy will not occur without a source of energy. Energy is released or absorbed whenever chemical bonds are formed or broken during a chemical reactions. Energy changes are one of the most important factors in determining whether a chemical reaction will occur. Chemical reactions that release energy often occur on their own or spontaneously. Chemical reactions that absorb energy will not occur without a source of energy. An example of an energy-releasing reaction is the burning of hydrogen gas, in which hydrogen reacts with oxygen to produce water vapor, which is 2H2 plus O2 equals 2H2O. The energy is released in the form of heat and sometimes, when hydrogen gas explodes, light and sound. The reverse reaction, in which water is changed into a hydrogen and oxygen gas, absorbs so much energy that it generally doesn't occur by itself. 2H2O plus energy will go and transform into 2H2 plus O. The only practical way to reverse the reaction is to pass an electrical current through water to decompose water into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Thus, in one direction the reaction produces energy, and in the other direction the reaction requires energy. Every organism must have a source of energy to carry out the chemical reactions it needs to stay alive. Plants get their energy by trapping and storing the energy from sunlight in energy-rich compounds. Animals get their energy when they consume plants or other animals. Humans release the energy needed to grow, breathe, think, and even dream through the chemical reactions that occur when we metabolize or break down digested food. Chemical reactions that release energy do not always occur spontaneously. The energy that is needed to get a reaction started is called the activation energy. The peak of each graph represents the energy needed for the reaction to go forward. The difference between the required energy and the energy of the reactants is the activation energy. Activation energy is involved in chemical reactions, whether or not the overall reaction releases or absorbs energy. Enzymes. What role do enzymes play in living things, and what affects their function? Enzymes speed up chemical reactions that take place in cells. Temperature, pH, and regulatory molecules can affect the activity of enzymes. Some chemical reactions are too slow to have activation energies that are too high to make them practical for living tissue. These chemical reactions are made possible by catalysts. A catalyst is a substance that speeds up the rate of a chemical reaction. Catalysts work by lowering the reaction's activation energy. nature's catalysts. Enzymes are the proteins that act as biological catalysts. They speed up chemical reactions that take place in cells. Enzymes act by lowering the activation energies, which has a dramatic effect on how quickly reactions are completed. For example, the reaction in which carbon dioxide combines with water to produce carbonic acid is so slow that carbon dioxide might build up in the body faster than the bloodstream could remove it. CO2 plus H2O will go into H2CO3. Your bloodstream contains an enzyme called carbonic anhydrase that speeds up the chemical reaction by a factor of 10 million, so that the reaction takes place immediately and carbon dioxide is removed from the blood quickly. Enzymes are very specific, generally catalyzing only one chemical reaction. Part of an enzyme's name is usually derived from the reaction it catalyzes. Carbonic anhydrase gets its name because it also catalyzes the reverse reaction that removes water from carbonic acid. The enzyme substrate complex. For a chemical reaction to take place, the reactants must collide with enough energy so that the existing bonds will be broken and new bonds will be formed. If the reactants do not have enough energy, they will be unchanged after the collision. Enzymes provide a site where reactants can be brought together to react. Such a site reduces the energy needed for reaction. The reactants of enzyme-catalyzed reactions are known as substrates. For example, the enzyme carbonic anhydrase converts the substrates, carbon dioxide and water, into carbonic acid, which is H2CO3. The substrate binds to a site on the enzyme called the active site. The active site and the substrates have complementary shapes. The fit is so precise that the active site and the substrates are often compared to a lock and key. Regulation of enzyme activity. Temperature, pH, and regulatory molecules are all factors that can affect the activity of enzymes. Enzymes produced by human cells generally work best at temperatures close to 37 Celsius, the normal temperature of the human body. Enzymes work best at certain pH values. For example, the stomach enzyme, which is pepsin, which begins protein digestion, works best under acidic conditions. The activity of most enzymes are regulated by molecules that carry chemical signals within cells, switching enzymes on or off as needed. So this is the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This is my project for grade 10 to Mr. Mustafa Ali. Have a nice day.